How to become a knowledge YouTuber.
Episode 9.1, 2.5D Animations.
By Philip Shea.
What is 2.5D animation and what features do they possess? In this episode, we will discuss all of these. 2.5D perspective, or 3/4 angle of view, pseudo-3D perspectives, is either a 2D graphics projection or a similar technology used to make images or scenes simulate a 3D appearance, not actually 3D. Or gameplay in other 3D video games that are limited to 2D planes and limited access to three-dimensional space. The origins of the terms 3/4 perspective and 3/4 view can be traced back to the 3/4 outline in portrait painting and facial recognition. These images depict the faces between the front view and the side views. Facts about 2.5D animation. 1. 2.5D is not an animation type, but a technology. 2. 2.5D can be achieved through visual operation. 3. 2.5D starts with the creation of 2D indie games. 4. Spend less time and cost less money. 1. 2.5D is not an animation type, but a technique. It is important to note that 2.5D is not an animation type, it's a technology. 2.5D is a technical term used to describe, focus on techniques that make 2D spaces or images look 3D quality. Now that you have received an education in animation, you need to know what 2.5D is and how and why it becomes 2.5D. 2. 2.5D can be achieved through visual operation. The animator achieves this look by strategically manipulating the scene using tools such as layering, shadows, perspective adjustments, and deformation. These artistic operations can be applied to a group of images in a still image or animation, so that the 2D space has the same motion and fluidity as the real 3D animation. The end result is a very cool magic that makes the eyes see this image in 3D similar to an optical illusion. 3. 2.5D starts with the creation of 2D indie games. 2.5D animation can thank the rise of the indie video game industry. Many independent game designers want to create a more visually appealing environment but no option for 3D design due to technical or budget constraints. In video game design, there are only X and Y axes, so true 3D design is relatively impossible because 3D needs to move on all three axes. 2.5D animation effects allow game artists to bring dull and still scenes to new life. These predictions are common in video games and also useful in geographic visualization, GVIS, to help understand the spatial representation or 3D visualization of visual cognition. 4. Spend less time and cost less money. Soon after 2.5D became popular in the game industry, animators in other fields began to notice and make it work in their spaces. Many animators switch from 3D design to 2.5D because they can complete the project in a shorter time and still have the same appearance. This is a real case where less is more. 2.5D is much cheaper than 3D and looks more attractive and refined than traditional 2D.
Making 2.5D animation with Adobe After Effects. With After Effects, you can not only make animations in 2D space, but also can manipulate, move and place objects in Z space and X and Y planes. Z space is measured by the distance from the camera. So if you want to move something backward in Z space, it will appear to be farther away than objects that are further away in the Z plane. After converting all the layers into 3D space, we pull them out to different points on the Z-axis and add a 3D camera. With this arrangement, you can rotate and place plane layers to create shapes and objects, such as stages, streets, and even houses, as long as you know how to position them correctly and efficiently. This is by no means a 3D modeling technique, but some techniques to stimulate camera movement. It's just giving the animation a sense of depth by placing objects in 3D space and passing them. Like you want to actually create camera movement in real life.
Now that you know the wonderful world of 2.5D, you can try to do some experiments yourself.